Hello, my name is Jason Lajara.
And I'm Michael Vescera.
And welcome to the FAL Consulting Podcast, your number one source for educational crypto content. Today is November 12th, 2021. And on today's show, we'll be going over the top 10 cryptos of the day, as well as SEC rejects the VanEck spot Bitcoin ETF proposal. Crypto accounts for 14% of AMC's online purchases, and 2 firms account for the majority of Tether received. All that and more on today's FAL Podcast. Before we go anywhere else, Mike, anything on this podcast financial advice?
Nah, never financial advice. You guys know.
Never hear. Do your own research. Fucking never get any financial advice from us. Brush your hair. Take care.
Take care. Brush your hair. How you doing?
How are these top 10 cryptos doing today? That's my question.
They're down a little bit.
Down a little bit, right?
But they're still top 10.
Still top 10. No matter how low they go, they'll still be in the top 10. And you'll still be able to catch them here on the FAL Podcast. And at number 1, we have Bitcoin at $63,373, down 2.62%. At number 2, we have Ethereum at $4,584, down 3.59%. At number 3, we have Binance Coin at $613, down 2.40%. At number 4, we have Tether. At number 5, we have Solana at $227, down 4.72%. At number 6, we have Cardano at $2.03, down 3.29%. At number 7, we have XRP at $1.17, down 3.30%. Number 8, we have Polkadot at $45, down 6.09%. At number 9, we have USDC. And at number 10, we have Doge at 25 cents, down 3.14%. So a little bit of a downer movement after a couple of weeks of parabolic upwards.
Yeah, just ups. It was probably mostly Evergrande defaulting and, along those lines. The whole regular market started crashing because of that too.
Yeah, we spoke about Evergrande, a couple of weeks ago, a month or two ago, about how they were going to default a bunch of their loans. That affected the market at the time when that was going around. The news kind of died down. We got a bunch of other things that came in. We got the approval of the ETFs and stuff, so we kind of pushed that to the side. But now the decisions finally come, and it looks like they're going to default.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money that they're defaulting on. So wherever they got their loans from, they're pretty much just beat. Everyone's beat. It's a bad look for, I guess, the Chinese market. The market overall is showing how it could be propped up by pretty much nothing.
Yeah, entirely. When you have 6% inflation, you got a piece of wood costing 30 times more than it did last year. But we're not here to talk about the stock market. And we're not here to, crap on crypto or say that this is the end of the line or the end of the bull run or anything like that. It's just a down day. If you and I know anything,
there's down days here and there.
Yeah, it has to happen. We can't only have up only, because that's how you get burnt a little bit. If every day you're going in and you got in the past couple months and it's amazing, but you have to know that it's not always going to be green. That's one piece of advice that I'll give everybody. Is just always set your expectations right, know when to pull, and be okay when it's red, and know when to walk away, because that'll just make you insane if you keep staring at it.
Nah, yeah, that's why it's tough being a trader too. Just looking at the charts all day, shit's annoying. Honestly, I couldn't look at that candle all day.
Nah, I definitely could not, and it's tough if you're trying to get a ETF approved, if it's spot, that is. Because recently the SEC just rejected, actually this morning the SEC just rejected VanEck's proposal for a spot on Bitcoin exchange. You could trade on futures, but you can't have spot.
Yeah, the futures ones, they've been improving left and right for the last couple of weeks, but that's just because it's less volatile. It just doesn't move on the futures contract. What they're trying to keep people away from is, like what just happened, I guess, with Bitcoin. I guess it's a volatile move. I don't really know. From 69,000 down to 63. So, I mean, it's a pretty sharp drop. But nothing I haven't seen before. But if that's the type of volatility or the reason that the SEC doesn't want to approve it, that's probably going to take some time before they change their stance on it.
You shouldn't approve the futures one then. If you're going to have the stance on the spot one, then you shouldn't approve. I'm allowed to trade on the futures. I'm allowed to go 3x on the future price or expectation, but I can't actually on what it is today. And if it was...
no, the ETF is just pegged to the futures contract. So whatever the future...
The price will be in the future.
Yeah,
I understand. It
doesn't really move at all, honestly.
I guess you're trying to protect me, but I can go out and fucking get DraftKings on my phone and drive over a bridge and bet my whole mortgage on there, and there's nobody protecting me.
No, you just gotta walk halfway over the bridge.
Halfway over the bridge, but if you're allowing gambling, if you're allowing these type of things, like some of the things that gets me upset is like, if we're gonna go one way, let's go all the way. You can't just be like, oh, we're gonna prove this bit of it and we're gonna prove that of it. It's like, no, let's just go full circle. I can go out and smoke a pack of cigarettes and kill myself. I can go out, buy a bottle of Jim Beam and fucking drink myself to death. Why can't I go and trade a fucking Bitcoin ETF that's on spot? Yeah, it's volatile and everything, but you don't protect me in a lot of other areas in my life. So why are you protecting me here?
Yeah, I don't know. They feel like that's just what they're there for. That's kind of what they just have to do. They're being tough with it because they don't fully understand it. Whoever the people offering it may not understand it. So then the retail investors definitely don't know what's going on. To an extent, some of them anyway.
Maybe it's the retail investors should get the fuck out the market. Now I'm playing because I'd consider myself a retail investor. It's just, it's just upsetting. Obviously, the Bitcoin price is down, and if this is something to do with it, or if the decision came because of the volatility, then you guys could have looked at the history of this before. Obviously, the decision was probably already made, and it's just coming out in the same day, and I'm being a little salty. But I just, like I said, I understand where it comes from, but I don't see the reasoning. Like, they have to get their stuff in line and these approval, and what's going to be allowed to, like, when will the spot be allowed then? Because then this is just going to continue to be the speculation. Like, we got the futures, but now it's going to be the spot.
Yeah, they're just probably waiting for the market to be a little bit bigger for Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least.
Yeah.
Because once it gets to a higher market cap, less money is going to be moving around through it, so it'll be less volatile price action.
And it'll probably happen within the next year or so as more companies put Bitcoin on their balance sheets and become more involved within the industry, as you see with many different other companies, especially as the metaverse starts to rise up and you start seeing different companies try to make their own cryptocurrencies. You're definitely going to have some lobbyists with some pull coming into Senate and stuff, some money being moved around to get some of this stuff approved. Maybe just not enough donations were made so that this VanEck one could have been approved. But I'm just being a dickhead about this. I just think it's silly.
Nah, it's definitely annoying. I mean, I don't know how well they're performing these futures ETFs, but I feel like people are buying it because of the hype. Yeah, they could finally buy Bitcoin to an extent on the regular market, but it'll die out quick once you see, like, I don't know how much they could really make off of it or how exactly it's going to work, but
yeah, it'll take some time. And at the end of the day, I'll give them a bone. We do have the futures one. We've been waiting for the futures one for how long? So let's just sit with the futures one for a bit.
Yeah, they were waiting to get an ETF approved for like 2 years. So
right, it took them 2 years to get this one, the futures one approved. So it's going to take a couple more rejections to get the spot one. Keep listening to hear any more news about what's going on over here.
Yeah, we'll probably hear about it.
But what's going on over there in the Tether space?
The Tether, they're struggling. What else is new? No, they're so a report by Protos, or I'm pretty sure is the name of it. They did an in-depth search on what's been going on with Tether. They found that 55% of all outbound volume ever through Tether has gone through just two companies. There's Alameda Research, which is owned by Sam Bankman-Fried, CEO of FTX, and Cumberland, which is one of the big liquidity providers for Binance, who's also been linked to Tether with some of the issues of they're printing money with nothing behind it. Who knows? But it was interesting to see that they gave $36.7 billion to they gave $36.7 billion to just FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, to do whatever they were doing over at Alameda Research, which is kind of like a crypto trading platform to an extent.
So this isn't that Alameda Research and the other company are using Tether, but they've received a fair amount of Tether. Does Tether have like a program or a treasury that they are using to facilitate projects and stuff?
Not that I'm aware of. I think that they loaned it out to them because they are paying it back. But it's like, where are you getting all this money to be loaning to just two people? That was 55% of any outbound volume on Tether ever. Was just the two guys.
And it's over time or in multiple transactions, I expect.
It was between 2014 and 2021.
That's crazy. I didn't know Sam Bankman-Fried owned Alameda Research. I've heard of Alameda Research in the past. I did not know that man just about owns everything.
Yeah, he's crypto rich.
And this is the first time they're reporting on this, or this is a story that's coming from someone checking on-chain metrics and figuring this out themselves.
Yeah, this was someone that did like an in-depth research, gave some insight on what was going on with Tether. They just decided to look into it, did a little report.
They really are struggling. They really can't catch a break.
Nah, yeah, they just had to pay, I think it was last month, they had to pay $42.5 million to the CTFS for violating commodity exchange. Well, it says for breaches of the Commodity Exchange Act. What exactly they breached, it doesn't say, but it says that they were ordered by them beforehand to stop doing what they were doing, and they didn't.
Yeah, we've talked about Tether before, and there are a bunch of their problems in the past, and it looks like it's not going to get any better for them within the next coming years, because I expect a lot of governments not to enjoy what stablecoins are doing, especially when the U.S. probably eventually wants to make its own stablecoin. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tether. I'd like to, continue to push that they're doing great things and stuff like that. I like the idea of a stablecoin, but they're literally never not in the news for anything that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is like an indictment of something wrong happening, but it's just you given.
It's not an indictment, but they're not reporting it.
$60-something billion.
And they've had problems in the past of like, what's in your treasury? Like, what do you hold? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
and now it's coming out that you're loaning out half of your supply you've ever had.
Yeah, and I've also seen too they print tokens to loan out to exchanges too, and the exchanges pay them back, but they're still just printing tokens to give out loans that aren't really there.
It sounds like the Fed.
Yeah, that's why they're called the Federal Reserve of crypto. But I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. It wasn't anything.
No,
serious.
I agree. There's not much news too. We said that at the top of the podcast. There's not many crazy news stories coming out this week, other than if you wanted us to sit here and tell you to fucking buy the dip a bunch of times. But we're not here to do that. We're here just to report the stories. So yeah, we just pulled up a couple of interesting news stories to end off the week. We're starving here over at FAL Podcast. We're gonna push this out. So if there's not as much energy as usual, it's just because we went into this right before lunch instead of after lunch or in the morning like we usually try to. But Tether, get your shit together.
Yeah, these guys are struggling, honestly. I wish I didn't have to use them. I don't use them. I've actually never owned Tether.
I haven't either.
Which is surprising because you need Tether to do like everything.
We've avoided it for this long. But something that AMC seems to not be avoiding is crypto payments, because they're now accounting for 14% of all online purchases for concessions and tickets. Currently, they have enabled Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash, and it was enabled over the past 2 months. So 14% in 2 months, pretty big.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. I'm surprised that people are using it as much as they are. Because I guess that's where all the tickets are bought now, pretty much is through online, like before you go.
Honestly, yeah, who wants to stand in line, for ticket stands? Like, that job's probably dead soon.
Yeah, because I've only been, I think, once since Corona ended, so I don't even know how exactly people go about buying all their tickets and stuff. So I'd assume it was just online.
You can go to AMC when you go in the mall now, too. You can go up to the ticket stand, and there's someone there to buy your ticket, but then you can just go to the right and buy your ticket right there and buy it from a machine and go to the person and have it ripped. Movie tickets are no longer also like a piece of cardboard. Like, they don't last. They're just fucking pieces of
like
paper.
A receipt.
And so I kind of hate that. They brought it back a little bit at the AMC now. Like, it's still rippable, and you could hold them, but they're not going to hold the same as they used to. That's a side point. That's just a little pet peeve.
I still have a lot of those old movie tickets.
Yeah, me too. That's why I have some like 10 years old. I have when I went to see Avengers back in like 2012.
Yeah, I still have that one too.
So that was a big one for me. But yeah, like you said, I found it pretty surprising that it's risen so much, 14%. But if you follow AMC on Twitter, you know that the apes are very strong. Those are AMC apes. That's what they like to identify themselves as. Apes.
Yeah, the GME apes.
GME AMC apes. And we both know that GME and Dogecoin and AMC kind of fit in this meme coin, meme stock category. And they've had this relationship ever since early in January when GME was blowing up.
Yeah, once all that started, it became like a cult. Like they're kind of pumping Loop Ring right now too, or the last week or so.
I didn't know that was that community as well.
Yeah, because they're partnering with GME doing something. What exactly? Nobody's really sure, but they're gonna. Yeah, GameStop's partnering with Loop Ring, so the GME apes on Reddit were like, "Yeah, we're gonna pump Loop Ring now," and they have been. Or I haven't looked at it today, but over the last week or so, it's been pretty much just up. I think it definitely went over $3.
That's one thing I'll say. Those guys, when they say they're gonna pump something, they legitimately pump that thing.
No, absolutely.
That group of those group of people, over on GME, over on Twitter. I mean, over on Reddit on the Wall Street Bet side, and they're trading GME. But
yeah, they're definitely crazy.
Oh no, they're insane. Those Wall Street Bet guys. I was following them before I got into crypto, before the GME thing blew up. They are insane. Like before, what they were doing before. Now they're a little bit more in the limelight, so they couldn't really do as much as they used to do because they were doing a lot of stuff within this regular stock market that was not in the limelight like it is now.
Yeah, they were fucking shit up for a long time.
For a long time,
people were getting scared.
People
lost their jobs.
But those apes, those people probably are avid AMC users. I like AMC theaters myself as well. They have a pretty good subscription plan. It gives you like 3 movies a month for like $20. I canceled that because I haven't gone to movies in a while, but I think it's pretty good. And it's been pretty nice, honestly, to see. I know like the whole meme thing about AMC and like all this stuff, like we said, the pump and dumps. But AMC could have legitimately died as a company if these guys didn't put their money into it.
Yeah, GameStop too. They were dead. So I don't know what they're doing now, but
they're
pivoting alive because of the stockholders.
They're pivoting into like to be more of like a comic book type of shop where people come and like nerds and people.
So they just plan on dying again in like 3 weeks.
Not touching it. Well, I'm not gonna touch that. These dudes have pivoted so many times from mobile cell phones to a bunch of things. I actually interviewed for GameStop once for a management position. I definitely got it, but I was like, no, because everything.
You were hanging out with Erica?
I was hanging out with Terrell.
Even worse.
Yeah. And I was a great idea that I didn't take that job, but when I was in that interview, it was basically like the reason I did it is because the interview was like, oh yeah, like this is exactly what we need. Like this company's dying, and I'm like, you're a manager telling me to another supposed manager is gonna come in, this company's dying. Like I'm good. Like, and I know this company's dying. I knew exactly like what to say, like what to talk about. Like I killed that interview, but that's not the point. I'm obviously here in crypto now. I'm not working at GameStop, thankfully, because even if I wasn't gonna get a piece of those GME shares.
Nah, you would have got paid $2 an hour in store credit.
Get that ass. They gave me a free copy of Battlefield, and that would have been big.
Yeah, you wish. They're giving you the first 10 days free, no?
With Game Pass, yeah, they'll give me the first 10 days free. That's not GameStop though. GameStop ain't doing that. GameStop's like, come in.
No, that's how they reel you in. You think you're getting a deal coming to work for them. They give you a game for free, but
10 hours of
it's free.
They get you 10 hours too. Like you put 10 hours into a game, you're probably gonna keep fucking playing that game.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I'm poor, so I would just play the game for 10 hours and then I'd delete it.
That's what I did with Madden. That's what I did with Madden this year. I was like, yo, Madden, I'm not giving you $60, but I'll play these 10 hours.
Nah, better off. Madden's been putting the same game out since 2011, and they've gotten worse every year. That's
a true fact. But back to AMC. We kind of got off on a little tangent there. I think it's pretty cool. They kind of made a little bit of a reference there to adding Dogecoin. The CEO put out a poll a couple months ago with 68% of people responding, yes, sure, please put Dogecoin as a payment service on AMC. There's still no news around that, but within the tweet, he said it'll be coming soon. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where AMC continues to go. They do say they want to get into NFTs. They want to make their own cryptocurrency. It was reported, they just did a quarterly call a couple weeks ago, and they said they want to make their own cryptocurrency, get into NFTs. So it's just interesting. I never expected AMC in my life to pivot into the way they've done, but like whoever's doing their marketing and their stuff,
they definitely found a way to pick up where they left off. It's definitely gonna help them, especially 14% now. It can only keep growing. Honestly, people start paying for it more. They start adding support for more different tokens on there that people have. They'll probably be willing to pay with it.
14% in 2 months. I definitely would.
Did it say which one was the most? like paid with?
No statistics on that, actually. That would have been a good one to for them to write about, but there's none over there. It was just the news came from a tweet from the CEO, Adam Aaron, so he didn't really give much else other than big news flash. As promised, many new ways now to pay online at AMC. We proudly accept, drumroll please, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, also Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal. Incredibly, they already account for 14% of our total online transactions. Wait a second. This story was given to me as if it was 14% of crypto transactions. But if you're telling me that Apple Pay, Google Pay, and PayPal are included now in this statistic, it's not as big as I thought originally.
Nah, well, it could be what they're doing through PayPal. At least if you might be able to make crypto payments through them, but when it gets to AMC, it gets transferred to cash.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, it could be something like that, because through Visa and MasterCard, that's one of the things that they're doing for merchants. You could swipe it, pay with the crypto, but when it gets to the merchant, it gets converted to cash. Yeah, Visa will eat the crypto, and the store gets the dollars from Visa.
Yeah, they'll be like, thank you. Let me get that.
Yeah, Visa ain't going nowhere now.
Hopefully, the statistic does hold up, and they aren't talking about the Google Pay and PayPal and stuff like that. And you're probably right with the way that you're saying it. But yeah, AMC, keep it up. It's a pretty good news story. I haven't been to your theaters in a bit. You got to talk to the movie companies about stop putting them on streaming platforms, because I'm not going to the theaters when they're on streaming platforms. I used to think like, oh, I'll divert my time, but now I'm like, I could just sit at home and watch this fucking Dune movie real quick.
I don't have to go all the way to the movie theater, look for parking, come home after,
and then have some guy behind me talking the whole time with this kid that's not even.
Don't go over there.
That's not even that bad. Like Brian and Ricky, when they went to go see Endgame, they had a dude behind them talking the whole time, and like right as spoiler alert, Iron Man's dying, he's like, oh, he got the rubies. He's not dead. They ruined their movie theater experience. And that's why I don't go to the one near my house, because it's a horrible place. And I go to the AMC because they actually do a good job. And there's not many people who go there. Like anyway.
Yeah, I haven't been to the one over there in a long time.
Since Fast and Furious. Oh, the one by me.
Yeah, the one over by you. I haven't been there in a while. Yeah. When we went to see Fast and Furious, we were at AMC.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy to think that was in April. Jeez,
was it? Nah.
No. It was like
when did the cicadas start coming out?
Like June?
So it was like June, because apparently a cicada flew in the car and Drew's. I started dying laughing. I thought he was having a seizure at first. I looked over. He was
so concerned, bro.
He was doing the fucking Bernie in the passenger seat. I was like, what the hell happened? He's like, yo, bro, I got hit by a cicada.
We never saw the cicada, but we're going to believe him.
Yeah, but it was probably a gnat.
But I think we've come to the end of a little short podcast here, a little low energy. We're starving. Let's get some paninis in us.
Yeah, this panini's going to hit.
Oh, 100%.
That Rocky Balboa? Yeah, I'm a fucking guinea.
Oh, I didn't even think about the Rocky Balboa.
Oh, Maron, Minkia. Cannot wait to be a fucking Gavone.
Let's go. And before Mike becomes a Gavone, I'm going to thank him for being here. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow me on Twitter over at crypto_Lajara. That's crypto_LAJARA. You can follow Mike over at Scuba Squingili. That's SCUBASCUNGILLI. You can follow the official FAL Crypto Consultants Twitter over at CryptoFAL. That's Crypto FAL. FAL is a one-stop shop for all your cryptocurrency needs, from answering questions for new people to bigger institutional clients. We're there for you, regardless if you're a small business or bank. We'll make sure to take a tailored approach to all your needs. Our teams houses specialists in all areas of cryptocurrency, from mining, trading, NFTs, trading DAOs, staking, lending questions, to general market research. Go to cryptofal.com to learn more. Thank you guys for listening. Once again, thank you, Mike, for being here.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
Have a great day.